Right-wingers turn on Trump for mocking DeSantis. What an idiot, it says, the headline. The reaction was swift after the former president called Florida Governor Ron DeSanctimonious. So I get that if it's going to come down to Trump versus DeSantis for president, that they got to start gearing up beefing, right? That's just how it works. However, why Trump would choose to do that 2 days before midterms when like we need DeSantis and we need people to be voting red, it's like, how is that productive in any way? Like attacking DeSantis 2 days before midterms for what? You know, like I said, if it comes down to, in the end, Trump v. Newsom, Trump v. Biden, Trump v. fucking who else, right? I'm voting for Trump. However, when I think about it, and it's going to be very real here, and you know, right-wingers and Republicans, conservatives in the comments, we can do the tribal thing. You can get mad at me for saying this, but just hear me out for a second. Lockdowns were under Trump. I felt the most not free in my life. I've lived in America my entire life, born in America. The only time I ever felt truly like not free was under the Trump presidency, under lockdowns. And we can sit here and say, well, yeah, it was because of the states. Yeah. But you know what? Trump allowed the states to do that with a fucking quickness. The way that Trump is pushing the vaccine. You know, I get that Trump sees it as his legacy of sorts, or not even of sorts. I think that Trump probably sees the vaccine as the thing that history will remember him for in a positive light, right? That we were in the midst of a pandemic and that Trump rushed the vaccine, Operation Warp Speed, et cetera, et cetera. And you know what? There is some truth to that. And history probably would remember it that way if the vaccine turned out to be what people were saying it was, but we know now it doesn't stop transmission. We now know that it was used as a weapon against people to divide us, to segregate society. And so I don't think anyone on the right is looking at what Trump did with the vaccine fondly. And I think that a lot of people on the left, you know, are not looking at what Trump did with the vaccine fondly. And then you have the other sect of the left that just pretend that Trump didn't even, you know, get us the vaccine with Operation Warp Speed, right? So I'm annoyed that Trump took this opportunity 2 days before midterms to attack DeSantis. I don't see the benefit of that for anyone. Right now is the day before midterms. And so people are saying that Trump might announce that he's running for president again today at some point. I don't think so. It's already what, 3 p.m.? I mean, who knows? I guess it could. However, I kind of just feel like Trump's time has passed. I just feel like, you know, DeSantis has really been an example of how to fight in a way that even Trump didn't. Because if you think about it, if you remember, Trump spent a lot of his presidency. Presidency, bitch. Trump spent a lot of his presidency worried about why the left didn't like him, right? Worried about legacy media, worried about the corporate press, and worried about headlines that were being run, which was a losing battle. You shouldn't have even cared. You should have just fought back with everything you had, you know? When I think it's like, I appreciate what Trump did, so it's not to be a Trump bashing session. I appreciate that Trump taught the right kind of how to fight back, because pre-Trump Republicans were pussies. They still are to a large extent. And, you know, say that there is a red wave tomorrow in the midterms and we do get everything we want. I still don't have hope that Republicans are really going to be fighting back and wielding their power in the way that I would hope. However, they do fight a lot more than pre-Trump. And so I appreciate that. And so I'm kind of feeling like, you know, Trump walked so DeSantis can run. I want DeSantis as president. I really do. DeSantis hasn't made a move that I disagree with, like, really once, you know, and he's not the sort of like ill speaker that Trump was. And granted, it really is a blue-pilled idea to even really care that much about how people speak, you know? Like, the biggest thing people hated about Trump was he was just so loose with the mouth, right? They were living in fear and trembling and shaking over what tweet was happening and the way he was saying certain things. And, you know, you had the Mexicans are rapists, you know, quote that followed him forever, that if people really look into it, he wasn't even talking about. It's just, the fact is, Trump gave the left a lot of ammunition. And it's not necessarily his fault. It's just a simple reality of how he spoke and who he was. DeSantis does not give them that kind of ammunition. DeSantis, what I have seen, routinely puts Democrats up against the wall and has them sort of like forced to argue in a way that makes them look stupid. When he did the Don't Say Gay bill, it was not the Don't Say Gay bill. And leftists completely lied about what that was, right? And I talked about that in my episode with Ariel Scarcella. Go check it out if you need to. But he made leftists look stupid. He enacted policy that when leftists had to argue against it, they looked crazy. They were arguing for children learning about sexuality. No one thinks that's cool, at least no one with their right mind. And so I appreciate that he routinely makes them like be honest about their views. I just think it's DeSantis' time. I want him as president, and that's who I'm going for. Again, I'll vote for Trump, but I'm a little exhausted, and I don't appreciate attacking him before midterms. Twitter owner Musk throws weight behind Republicans in U.S. midterms. So this happened today, and it has people in a fucking tizzy. He said, shared power curbs the worst excesses of both parties. Therefore, I recommend voting for a Republican Congress, given that the presidency is Democratic. So people are upset because the owner of a social media app has declared, a bias towards one side and encouraged people to vote in a certain way. I'm sorry. I don't have any fucking empathy for people freaking out about this because they didn't say shit when Twitter was ran by Democrats, very obviously ran by Democrats. The trending page every single day is Democrat steered. We have this article that I also pulled up here saying Twitter board members give tens of thousands to Democratic candidates. So why weren't you guys bitching at that point? And guess what? If you're upset about it, you have Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, every other fucking YouTube, every other social media network ran by Democrats, and that you're going to feel nice and safe and warm making content on and tweeting and posting, right? This is literally just leftists getting a very tiny taste of their own medicine, and they cannot fucking handle it. And there's something to be said about the fact that I was thinking on this the other day. It is so far from normal that an entire major political party in the United States not only doesn't care about free speech and doesn't believe in it, but actively fights to disarm it, actively fights against it. The fact that it is literally an entire party who only can compete in the marketplace of ideas if there is zero competition, that has to censor disagreements, that has to ban people, that has to cancel people from society in order for their ideas to sound sane. And we've just kind of accepted that this is like what it is, right? Like we just kind of accept that free speech is more of a right-wing value. That is so toxic that we accept that. We should have two parties that both support free speech, and we literally don't have it. And it's just like one of those things that it's like once it becomes the paradigm, people just treat it like it's normal. No, it's not normal that leftists don't agree with free speech. It's not normal that leftists actively fight against it. In fact, it's really fucked up. And yet another reason why I hope you're voting red tomorrow. So the thing about Elon Musk is I don't even think necessarily Elon Musk is like a conservative. Like I haven't seen anything from him that's particularly conservative. What I've seen is he sees Democrats are fucking crazy, but that's par for the course. You don't have to even be conservative to see that. I don't think I'm truly a conservative. I mean, here's the thing. Words are words, right? And like I've been called conservative from the beginning of like my career, and like news outlets write conservative trans person, conservative that. And it's like, I don't think I've ever even called myself conservative. If I have, go ahead and fact check me. But if I say it, it's only in the sense of like people just say it. So it's like, why not say it? I don't feel like I'm conservative. To me, I feel like conservatism denotes like a religious worldview that I just simply don't have. I'm also fairly liberal in the classical sense on social issues. I don't feel like I'm conservative. I feel like Elon's kind of conservative in the way that I am, which is why I kind of fuck with it. But, again, people are so upset about Elon Musk having a bias. It's like, I don't feel bad for you. You didn't say shit about Jack. You didn't say shit about the other leadership on these social network websites. And it's like for everyone to be leaving the platform because people are not going to be getting banned for disagreeing with them anymore. It's like, it shows your confidence in your ideas and your ideology and your worldview, that the only way you can express it is if there's no opposition. What the fuck is that? Like, are you demented? My God. These people would never last a day as a Republican or a conservative. They would never last a fucking day feeling like that pressure on their college campus that they can't say anything, right? That they're outnumbered at work or they're outnumbered. It's like you wouldn't last a fucking day because Elon Musk is owning Twitter now and you're shitting your pants. Try being a fucking Republican in the workplace, in school, on social media, like for a day. You would crumble. Hey, if you guys enjoyed that short clip from the podcast, make sure you guys subscribe to this channel as well as my main channel and watch the full episode, which will be somewhere on the screen.